Would you like to know the top 3 tips to resolve conflict in a relationship from a relationship expert? Fabulous. Hello, I'm Francesca, vibrational love match strategist, founder of Beloved Attraction, and guru of all things love and partnership. Okay, so today I'm going to share my top 3 tips that I use with my clients in real time, I use in my own life to help resolve conflict in relationship. And this really does help both short term and long term for the health of a relationship. All right, let's dive in. So, the first one is more of a mindset. And you may have heard this before. So, I'm going to say it again because it is super important. And that is when a challenge arises or conflict in a relationship, you the healthiest way to approach it is an us versus the challenge, not a you versus me, not a, him or her versus I. You are a team. You are partners. You are in partnership. And so also recognize that nobody is right and nobody is wrong. There are lots of different perspectives around a certain challenge, and everybody's perspective is based on their experience, their life journey, where they are. And so it's not about one person is right, the other person is wrong. So it's in that space of, okay, this is my perspective, this is their perspective. Okay, well, how can we shift, transform, resolve this conflict together by combining both of our perspectives, both of our wisdoms, both of our experiences to move through it? So that is the first one. The second top tip is to listen to understand. In this day and age, we are bombarded by information. And so it's really easy to tune things out or not be able to pull out, discern what's important and what isn't because there's just so much. And so oftentimes when we listen, because we may have heard the same things and around a certain challenge, you can just tune out and be like, oh yeah, they're going to say blah, 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 blah. And or many times, and we're all culpable of this, is that when somebody's speaking, we're really just listening to respond. We're not listening to resolve. So I'm going to say that again, louder for the people in the back. You want to listen to be able to resolve, not to respond. And so listening from a space of curiosity. So when you move in a space of curiosity, you're not in like a defensive mode. You don't, you can almost feel like, oh, well, I'm going to be attacked or they're going to make me wrong or whatever. No, just listen to what they have to say and really listen. What are they really saying? And to make sure that you do understand what they're saying, you can, when it is time to respond, just let them speak. Don't interrupt. You can respond with just some simple you statements to make sure that you understand. And you don't want to get bogged down in the details. You want to focus on really the emotion under it, because that's what's triggering it. It's not ever the dirty dishes in the sink. It's not the socks on the floor or the keys on the table. Those are just like the behaviors that are the outer reflection of the emotion underneath. So that's what you want to focus on. And this works with some people, and just keep it simple. So you could just say something along the lines of, oh, you feel disappointed or not respected. You don't feel heard. And just leave it at that. And then just it's like an invitation for them to then affirm or be like, no, I feel X. And sometimes just by you giving them like a statement, a simple statement or an option helps them kind of shift out of maybe the frustration, the anger, whatever emotion they're in, to then be like, oh, and then they can discern, no, I feel disappointed or I feel fill in the blank. And so that's number two. You want to listen to resolve. You want to listen to understand. All right. And number three of these top tips is don't take anything personally. And this can be really hard for a lot of people. This can be challenging. Because many times I have seen this in not so healthy relationships. People will make personal attacks, and you don't ever want to make a personal attack. You don't ever want to speak in anger. You don't want to attack anything about that person, etc. What you're focusing on, once again, is the behavior, but underneath that behavior, there is something else. But you want to be very careful how you phrase things, because that can then escalate very quickly. So when your partner is having, we'll say, a messy moment, they're having a messy moment, they're super emotional about something, you just get really calm and still inside, and you just really feel into safety. You amplify safety inside, peace, calm, etc. And just allow them to have their messy moment. You don't have to say anything. You don't have to do anything. You're just simply allowing them to have that moment. And many times I find when you do that, they move through it, and then there's peace on the other side of that. So I'll give an example from my own life. This was a while ago, but my partner and I were, getting ready to grill out, et cetera, et cetera. Something went awry. I got snapped at. I was in the kitchen. I was doing dishes, and I was like, okay, messy moment. I'm just going to get real still. I'm going to get real quiet. I just allowed him to process whatever he needed to process. I didn't say anything. I didn't react. And then probably 15 minutes later, I got the apology, and he had moved through whatever he needed to move through. And after, when I was like, I accept your apology, and I didn't appreciate getting snapped at. And, like, I'm glad that you're good. And then you can have the conversation like, maybe what happened, or maybe you don't need to go further down the lane. It depends on what's going on. It depends on the specific situation. Now, that could have escalated, gotten crazy had I been reactive, but I wasn't. And so it's also having that awareness of, messy moment. I'm just going to hold space for the messy moment. That's it. That's all I need to do right now. You don't need to fix anything. You don't need to fix your partner, anything along those lines. All right. So I hope you enjoyed these top 3 tips. They are super effective. Give them a try. Let me know in the comments. If you would like more training on this, I would be happy to work one-on-one with you to go into more detail with you. All right. So give this video a thumbs up, click subscribe, share on the socials, do all the things to help spread love vibes around the world. And until next time, more love vibes to come. Ciao.